Everybody thinks about buying a condo when moving to South Florida, but in this video, I'm going to show you why condo fees are skyrocketing and what you need to be mindful of so you don't lose multiple six figures going into a deal. What's going on? My name is Paul Blasko. I'm with eXp Realty here in the South Florida area. And if you're brand new to the channel, hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. Also, if you'd ever like to call me, get some more information about properties, or book a showing, my phone number will be right here below and in the description as well, so you can reach out to me at any time. All right, so today we're gonna talk about why the condo fees are astronomical right now. This is mainly due to the Surfside collapse that happened in Miami a few years ago. This collapse was of a major 12-story building in a metropolitan area here in South Florida, and it was caused by structural damage that was left pretty much untouched. This was a really horrible tragedy. I believe 90+ people were killed in this incident. It happened around 1 o'clock in the morning. And this is not really something that anybody wants to see, of course, and nobody wants buildings to be collapsing. So this is why Florida is taking a new step to make sure that this never happens again. This new step means that condos have to hold annual structural inspections, and they're also going to have to raise their reserves. Now, Florida has put a bunch of new laws in that are going to go into effect in 2025. The main one being by 2025, you can no longer vote against structural assessments that have to do with the building. So no matter what the cost is that you are going to incur from the HOA, you cannot vote against it if it has to do with structural or electrical. Florida is also requiring condo associations to hold higher reserves and fund new studies, as well as complete new electrical and structural recertifications. This is very good if you're looking to buy a condo and you're looking to live in one, so that you know all of the buildings are structurally sound and the electrical is very good. All of these things sound good, and you might be thinking to yourself, why would anyone want to vote against these in the first place? People typically vote against assessments and HOA raises because they don't plan on being at the condo for very long. Most people's logic for voting low is to keep the price of the HOA low so that their monthly cost doesn't increase. So in most people's mind that are voting no on these type of assessments and increases, their plan is, I'm not going to stay here for more than 10 years. So why would I increase my HOA for a structural assessment that's going to actually be completed in 10 years? There's no point in me paying towards that because I'm just going to sell the property. So because of that, there's a lot of common HOA increases that don't happen through these associations and through these condominium buildings because people are always voting no against them. So if you're looking to buy, it's still not a bad idea to look at a condo if you have someone who's experienced and who can educate you on exactly what you need to look for when you're purchasing. When we work with clients, we put all of the disclosure information on the seller and the seller's agent when it comes to purchasing a condo, so that we know exactly what's going to happen in the building. Also, when you're looking at a condo, you want to see what the potential HOA increases are going to be. If there's any assessments that are upcoming, you want to see the master insurance policy, and you want to see the annual budget from the HOA. You're also going to want to find out about the deferred maintenance projections. This is really important because these are things that are 10, 15, 20 years out that could potentially make you incur a huge cost. So let's just say if the roof needs to be replaced in 10 years, that would be a deferred projection because it doesn't need to be done now, but they might want to start collecting so that in 10 years time, you have the budget and the funding to replace the roof. So now that we've gone over all of that, you're thinking, how does that affect my cost? And what is it really looking like price-wise? Well, this is happening all across the state of Florida. New buildings and old buildings are all getting checked, all getting recertified, all having inspections, and this is due to all these new laws that are coming in. Because of the inspections, all of this comes at a cost, and HOA increases are typically going to happen. When 40-year inspections come around on a building, or electrical and structural inspections come on a building, there might be issues that come up that the building wasn't prepared for, and those are typically what cause assessments. Depending on how good or how bad of a shape the building is actually in, you really don't know exactly what the assessment's gonna be, but I have seen some buildings in Pompano Beach with assessments as high as $50,000 per unit. This is definitely not something I would suggest going into, but everyone has their own mindset and their own idea of what they could incur moving into a place, so it's really up to your discretion. Any immediate issues that come up on HOA inspections and all these new inspection requirements are most likely going to cause immediate assessments because all of the condominium associations all across the state of Florida typically do not have the budget, because people always vote no and they want to keep the cost low, so the reserves are not as high as they should be. You want to keep all of this in mind when you're looking for a condo. It's not impossible to find HOA costs that are low. It's not impossible to find a building that doesn't have a huge assessment, but you have to be educated and be aware of what you're going into before you do it. If you got any value out of this video, if you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all of my content. If you want any more information about Pompano Beach, Deerfield, Boca, or any of the surrounding areas in South Florida, go to the description. You can see all of my information and you can book a call directly on my calendar. If you didn't see the last video I posted about the top 6 things you need to know before moving to Pompano, hit this button right here and it'll take you to my last video.